Hi guys, thanks for joining me in my studio today. Hope you are all well and safe and having a great day. Today I've been using a new app, or it's new to me anyway. It's called Zen Brush 3. A unique drawing app, very unique. I produced this pen and ink sketch using Zen Brush 3. Really quirky. Let's just get into the video and see how I got on. This is Zen Brush 3. I've downloaded this, I bought it, it cost $4.99. So I paid for this myself, so all my views and opinions are my own. This is not a powerful drawing app like Procreate, Art Studio Pro or even Artset 4, but it is a unique drawing painting app. And I'll just go through the tools. You've got these tools at the top of the screen. I like them down by the right, so I'm just going to move them there by clicking on those or touching those three dots and just dragging it. That means I can then control opacity and I control the size of the brush with my thumb. So it just makes it a little bit more user friendly for me. What have we got then? These are all the tools you've got. There's nothing else other than what we can see on this toolbar here. So the first one is a black brush. So as you can see, you can make black marks with that. Surprisingly enough, you can change the size to be really big down to really thin, and also you can change the opacity. And that's pretty much it with that. Oh, you can also change the amount of water as well, sorry. So you can have like lots of water in your colour so it bleeds into others, or none at all at the other end of the scale so it shouldn't bleed at all. There we go. So that's pretty much how you control the brushes. I'm just going to set the opacity back to full and the brush down to about 3, and I'm going to put the water in the middle for when I come back to it. To clear it, there's no double tap or anything like that. You have to go into the menu and select clear, and the menu is the 3 little dots at the bottom. Touch that, and like I say, I selected clear. So that's the first brush. The second brush is pretty much identical to the first, that we've got opacity controls. We can control the size of the brush, but it's colour, not black. And to choose the colour, you tap on the brush and it pulls out a colour palette, so you can change the colour. And like there, we've got no water in that, so let's add the water up, and you can see that should put another one on there, they bleed together, so you get this really organic look. It's almost like Rebel in the way it works, except I don't think these are emulating watercolor paints. I think this is actually ink, because if you look here, we've got this real glossy look to this colour. So I think that's ink. Oh, and then we can dry it. So there's an option down here with the 3 little wavy lines, and you can dry that, because when I put the third brush is just water. So if I choose the black and put a black line in, a few black lines, and then choose this water brush, it just adds water. So you can see that ink flows nicely into that water, but the water has got a colour all of its own, so you can see it. But if I touch the dry option, it disappears and then you can see that nice soft blend. So you get these really organic looking strokes and blends and things. And then the fourth tool, that's the water tool, by the way. And again, you can't control the opacity because obviously it's water, but you can control the size of the brush, and you can control how much water you actually want to put on to the paper. So those are your three main tools. Then we've got the eraser, and again, you can have a really huge eraser or a very small one. That's set at the second setting. I can have it thinner than that. If you have got it like I have here with no water, a maximum opacity, you pretty much get a nice clean lift of the colour. But you can add water to that. So if I put it in the middle, I think this is probably dried too much. Let's wet the water right up. Yes, can you see it's just starting to, there's a little bit of bleeding there. I think this is too dry, because I think the ink actually dries out. There we go, there's a little bit. And then again, you can dry it off, and we see a little softening there and a little bit of softening there. But I can also take the opacity down. Let's try it again. See, it doesn't want to soften that at all, does it? Let's put some fresh ink on. Now try that eraser with some water. Got maximum water. Put the opacity up. Seem to flow a little bit. Let's dry that off. Yeah, you can see just the softness there. And you can, what else can you do? Oh, you've also got, if I erase something else as well, you've got an option to select a blotting paper, and you can sort of blot that water out. Yeah. So that's it. Those are the main tools. Then we have papers. Oh, there's one other timer as well, and this is this fast dry, where I'm not really sure. I couldn't really get my head, to be honest. I didn't use this. It seemed to me that if I wanted to dry something, I would be using the instant dry, so I could carry on doing what I wanted to do. So paper then. We've got this kind of little, I don't know, moon icon. Touch that, and we can choose paper. When you open the app up, that's the default format, portrait. So I'd already selected it to change it to landscape. And then we've got these handmade papers. So you can have black. I don't know what, I mean, it's called a shodo paper. I don't know what that means, to be honest. I would imagine it's got some significance. Somewhere. I don't know. Let me go back to the black. Other papers then. So I really liked this handmade paper too, but as you can see, there's lots of different papers with different textures. Nice watercolor paper there, look. Antique paper, rough paper, and then it starts to get really interesting. We've got this sort of wave paper which has got a nice texture on it, or pattern, and then this one, this gold flake. If I just clear I'll select that paper and clear my drawing, and choose gold colour and start painting. can you see it's got this sort of gold shimmer to it, almost as if you're using gold paint. So you can sort of, I don't know, draw. I'm guessing this is a could be a butterfly or something like that. But you've got this lovely sort of gold shimmer to it, look. And if you move the iPad, doesn't seem to be doing it now. There you go. If I bang it on the desk, you see it better. The actual gold shimmers. It moves around and it's got this shimmer to it, which is quite nice, bit of a novelty. So that's kind of let's clear this again. The main features of the app, like I say, it's not that powerful. It's really unique. I haven't seen anything else like this before. But and I get why they call it Zen Brush 3, because this is a drawing app that I think you need to practice with. You can't just get in and use it as a sketching thing. You've got to think about, you actually have to learn how to use the brushes. And to me, the app feels much more like using conventional paper, because there's only 4 undos to start with. You can only undo 4 times, which means that's a bit of a bind. If you think you're getting something wrong, you have to erase it. There's no layers, so you might be erasing something that you want to keep. So it becomes, you really have to practice using the brushes. And I really got into it, and I spent a few hours playing around with this, just sort of getting exactly the right feel of the brushes that I want. So I'm just going to try and do a simple black and white sketch. And I could do, I've got a tree down fairly quickly, because to be honest, this app's perfect for sketching trees. But I thought, that's a bit of a cop-out, really. I want to try and do something a little bit more in the field that I work in. So I thought I'd sketch a little building, and then we'll just see how this comes out. I don't want that line there, do I? So I need the eraser straight away. I've got water in the eraser, so I need to first of all take the water off and then just quickly dry this. And you start getting used to this as you use the app. The first time I used it, I was all over the place, to be honest. It didn't go too well for me. Like I say, I think it's an app you need to learn and practice with, just like you would if you was taking up a new medium, like say watercolor. You'd have to practice it. It wouldn't come natural. Whereas most apps, you can sort of, they all work pretty much the same way. You get a feel of how to use them, and that's it. You're away. But this one, no, that's not the case. It feels very different, but fun to use. So I hope I'm doing it justice. Don't know if I am or not. Let's see, corner of this building here. Put a little bit of stonework in. I mean, really, you ought to be doing some sort of Eastern style drawing, like a koi carp or some bamboo. There's a few demo paintings like that, and you know, it looks great. I'm just going to take the water, make sure I've got plenty of water in there. Just start softening things off a little bit. I also think that if you leave the ink on the paper for any length of time, it does dry. It does dry, so you can't soften it. So if you want to soften something, you want to be doing it pretty quick. There we go. So it's got this really nice watercolor feel to it, but I do think it is ink. It's not meant to be watercolor, and you can dry that off at any time to get this nice dried effect. Back to my brush. I've got it set to number 2, by the way, and I have to say I have been playing around with this app for a couple of hours. It's taken me a few hours to get to grips with it before I felt confident enough to actually draw something, which is really kind of unusual for me. I'm usually open it up, and quite often I'll do a recording testing it out almost as soon as I've opened it up, but not this one. This felt to me that I needed to just play around with it a little bit. And another thing, I mean, there's a few issues with it that I don't like. One is that you can't. It would be brilliant if you could import something that you'd sketched in another app, and then do this effect to it. That would be awesome, but it doesn't. You can't do that. I've tried. To save, you come down here and you choose. Well, I can save as new, and that will save this to my library. And if I go to open, you can see it's there. There's the 3 demo drawings that you get, but there's no option to import something from your photo library. So that's a shame. That would have been a nice feature, I guess. You can use the eraser to paint with as well. So like I say, if I take the water right down, take the brush down, the brush size down, I can paint this window in. I'm even going to make the brush smaller than that, and sort of put that window in there like that if I want. To my paintbrush again, let's have a window in here. On here, some doors. Took me a while to pick what I was going to paint as well, actually, to be honest. I tried lots of different things. I tried a bird. I tried using the colour, because obviously you can do full colour, but I thought I'll just keep it to a simple sketch this time. I could probably do another one in colour. Would that be something you want to see? Pop a comment down, please, if you'd like to see that. I don't know if it's an app I'll use a lot. I might do, because it's fun. It's really fun, and you have to get in the zone with it. Now, what I want to do now, I'm going to take the opacity of the brush down a little bit, and I'm going to make the brush really big. I'm just going to try and notice you've got this sort of grid that shows you where the brush is pointing. Just going to undo that. Didn't like that. Brush is a bit on the big side and a bit on the dark side. Get a bit lighter, actually. Try again. I just want to put these bushes in, but I don't want them like mega dark. And then I could, I suppose, whack the colour back up. A little bit of colour in there. That bleeds in. Get the eraser and tidy that up along the bottom perhaps. Actually, you know what? I think I need to put these shadows in. There are some shadows. There's shadows over the door there. Go like that, like that. These are take a bit of water. Get that to sort of blend in. Notice we've got this different colour water look to it all. I like to keep drying it off so I can sort of keep track of what I'm doing. So there's lots of using the sliders with this. Just to adjust, or I suppose I could be doing what I said I was going to do and use my finger to change the size of the brush all the time. To put the opacity on this telegraph pole in. You've really got to think about your drawing and try and be accurate. It does look organic there, that's what I like about it. Bit bigger brush. Notice, see what happened there? I sort of got my pencil, I don't know if you can see, leaning that way, so when I touch it I get a straight edge and then it's all blurred, and if I want to get it the other way I've got to sort of tilt the brush this way. No. I could even come in with this pencil, start sketching in this stone wall, I guess. When I say pencil, I meant eraser, sorry. Get the water. I do weird and wonderful things. See, that ink's dried, look, and I can't do anything with it. So you need to be on it if you want to soften something. You can, of course, wet it like this and then choose your brush and just dub a bit of colour over it like that. That's kind of effect. It'll do for the don't want to overdo this. I don't know if I like that. You know what? I'm going to take the eraser, get big, and take a chunk of this out. I don't like it at all. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my brush, take the size down a bit, and actually do the opposite, where I sketch the wall in like that. I think that's better. Get the water. That's nice, I like that. Yeah, that's better. That is better. I wonder if I could sort of just do some strokes like that. Does that work? Maybe it might do if I just... Oh, that don't. Whew. Try again. Just wanted to soften bits of it. Yeah, that's okay. Let's try that. There we are. Let's see, what else can we put in? In that telegraph pole, I could put some shadows in, I suppose, on the side of the building. Probably put a few lines in for this roof line, for the tiles. I suppose it's similar to a Tchaikovsky, perhaps. You could do a similar sort of thing with that. I'm just wondering if I need like a really light wash for the sky, or should I leave it like that? Because this is the point where if I get it wrong, I'm stuck with it. I can't, there's no undoing. I'd have to actually erase everything. So that is it. It's a bit of a gamble. Fairly big brush. See, that's way too dark. Way too dark. So that's try it to 3. That's too dark as well. So I've got this at 1. So we'll pop this sky in. Yeah. That's it. I think that's finished. I'm going to sign it, and I'm going to enjoy signing this because I really do like this brush. Oh, that didn't go to plan. There's some lag there, I think. Now that's interesting. It's not going exactly where you want. It's giving me a very unique signature. Anyway, that is Zen Brush. That gold thing looks good. I'm going to have a little play around with that. You could probably do something with that and then export it with all that sort of shimmery gold. I know you can't do the thing where you tilt the paper and get that sort of gold effect, but it would be cool to, I can't resist this, it would be cool to use it to export a sort of a gold background that you can then paint on, and it would be a really nice if you could take this app and import other images and put these effects on it. That would be so nice, but unfortunately it doesn't support that. This app is not going to replace your favourite painting app, whether it be Artrage or Tchaikovsky even, Procreate. I'll say it's not. It's very unique and really designed for this kind of work, this sort of pen and ink work. But it is so much fun to use, and it's like a challenge. Are you going to master the app, or is it going to beat you? It's not. It is a skill you need to develop, but I think looking at the result, it looks so organic and not digital that I really like it. But beware, because it's going to will affect your style. It won't replace your favorite app. So if you're looking for just a drawing app, this isn't it. This is something very different. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a big thumbs up as always is much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, because I have lots of videos like this and I would love to be sharing them with you. So hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.